Have you ever wondered what it feels like to run 85 kilometers in the middle of the mountains? Welcome everyone, I'm Elise and I'm thrilled to take you all the way to Gran Canaria for the Transgrancanaria 2025 Advanced Race Recap. While I couldn't resist joining the fun with the half marathon distance, in this video we will focus on Jasper, who ran 85 kilometers with over 4,000 meters of elevation. Who does that? Well, he does, and here's how. Helping Jasper for this race was very important business. I had to take care of him before, during, and after the race. We rented an Airbnb in the middle of the beautiful mountains for the days before so we could mentally focus and live a stress-free lifestyle. It was also so important for us to have our own kitchen so we could cook our own foods and Jasper could follow his carb load just like he was home. If you've never been to Gran Canaria, let me tell you this, it is absolutely stunning, but it is also super intimidating. It was also very, very hot, something that we didn't really expect, and coming from Barcelona in the winter, we couldn't really practice for that, so that definitely added a bit of challenge. Anyhow, let's go back to the beginning. The day that we arrived in Gran Canaria was also the day that we had to go to the expo to pick up the bib and to drop the drop bag. Basically, a drop bag is when you can put extra things you'd need in the middle of the race. Even though he had me to carry his food and refills, it was good to have a backup in case something happened to me or if I couldn't get back on time. So right after we picked up the car, oh, and by the way, we got a free upgrade to mini convertible. How cool is that? Right after we picked up the car, we organized the bag. That was a complete mess. We were literally on the floor of the parking lot trying to refill the bottles. We should have been more organized for that, but anyhow, we got it ready and we gave it out to the organizers. And after that, we just had to chill and wait for Saturday. So Jasper took 16 hours to complete this race. So what the hell happened in 16 hours? His race started at 9 in the morning, so we woke up around 6 to get ready. As always, he had a big bowl of oats, some electrolytes, and a coffee. I, on the other hand, was making sure I had everything he would need during the day. His backup nutrition, extra water bottles, warm clothes, sunscreen, wet wipes, anything you could think of. The start was in a small village called Terror. I mean, what a name to start. It was in the valley and you could see, looking straight up, what he was about to climb. Jasper was in very good spirits, ready to crush it. As soon as he went off, I grabbed a quick coffee and jumped in the car, ready to drive to the first crude aid station. Also, I got a little stuck at times just because the runners were crossing the roads, but it was actually pretty cool to see them all. All right, we made it to Artenaras. I have 2 hours to wait. I need to pee. It's beautiful. The views at that first crude aid stations were unforgettable. I honestly didn't see anything that beautiful. And Jasper was still very strong. You could see that the heat was obviously not helping, but he was on pace and he still had a very positive mindset.
This last climb, it was so hot. It was just very small, but it was super, super hot.
Yeah, no, it's really... Should we reapply sunscreen or not?
No, I think it's fine. I just need some water.
It's really warm. Okay. You want some water in your neck?
Yeah.
And I think this is why Jasper loves long trails in the mountains. You get to be in such a beautiful environment. Anyways, a few minutes later, Jasper was on his way again, and I would see him next in Tejeda, a little village up the mountains, at approximately the 30-kilometer mark. I found myself the most perfect lunch spot. I can see the runners going down there. I feel like he's really strong, and I think he's going to be just fine. By the time Jasper arrived in Tejeda, you could see it was getting hard. And I think mostly because of the heat. I think Jasper needed a bit of a time to reset before heading off again, knowing that a big climb was waiting for him. At that moment, he already complained of having some cramps in his belly, which luckily he managed to deal with. He was still able to eat and drink, which was very important. However, things started to get even worse. When I saw him in Garañón, which was at kilometer 42, Jasper was not feeling well at all. I think he would agree to say that this was the worst and most painful moment of the entire race.
Fuck, this was horrible. Yeah. Like, I did so good until Artenara, and then this climb out in the sun, like it broke my energy quite a lot. And then my stomach started hurting because of the heat, and therefore I couldn't run the downhill so much anymore either. And then I had this other climb, and then I couldn't eat at all. Like, it was getting into the shitlands, like
Luckily, this aid station had some warm food and a lot of space to sit. The drop bag was there too, so I made sure to pick it up. We changed his shoes, we cleaned his face, we filled his water and pockets with more food. He managed to eat some pasta before heading back to the woods. Alright, I just saw him at El Garañón. It was very tough. He had to cry. He's having a lot of issues with his stomach. Now the good thing is it was quite fresh here, so he managed to kind of like sit, eat, and hopefully his stomach is going to settle. He had the worst part, so now he's more than halfway, more than half of the elevation, so that's good. It's gonna get dark soon, so different kind of race as of now. Some people are crazy, and this is when you're like, okay, it is not a joke. I've seen him that beaten before, but that was at the end of his marathon, which was okay because it was the end and you would just finish and stop, which makes sense because that was 43k. So basically he did a marathon now, but the last times he could go home. Now he still has another 40k to go. And because Jasper always managed to surprise me, he actually ran pretty well after that. Come on, baby! Woo! Once I saw him at the next aid station, he seemed stronger and happier. He made some progress. We were in Tunde. The sun had set by then and it cooled down. It was the last crude aid station where I could see him. I believe it was already 11 in the evening and he still had 25 kilometers in front of him. He tried to eat, but then he got sick and vomited. This was not ideal. He took a long time at this aid station trying to feel better. And I will always remember what he told me. He was sitting on that bench, feeling exhausted, and he looked at me and he said, "Elise, no matter what you're thinking right now, I am not giving up." And I remember I said, "Well, what do you think?" Right, so that was tough. He stayed a lot longer than he planned because he couldn't get food down. So yeah, he's on his way back, but not a lot of fuel in him. So yeah, last stretch back home, which is still 25 kilometers. It's gonna be a climb and then a downhill. So I'm gonna make my way to Maspalomas. I'm gonna do the check-in at the hotel, and then I'm excited to see him at the finish. He's going through hard times, but he got this. The last 25 kilometers went with up and downs. Sometimes he could run, sometimes he could not. Sometimes he had to hide in the bushes, sometimes he could continue. Yeah, these were very hard last kilometers. And the last 10 kilometers of this race are flat, but it's full of rocks, so you can't really make very quick progress. So the end is in sight, but it just felt so long. And not to complain, but for me too, it was 1 in the morning. I was in the car, cold, just hoping he would make it quick. What's up, guys? So I'm smiling, but I'm super tired. I'm waiting for Jasper to cross the finish line. For the past 40k, basically, he couldn't get anything in. He's been going to the toilets a lot. He's been vomiting. Every time he starts running, his stomach hurts. Or every time he starts running, he needs to go to the toilet. And so I don't know, it's very, very strange. And I mean, it's starting to be very, very long and slow. And I think he's so done with it. So God bless him. I really, really am excited to see him, to give him a big hug, to bring him home and to sleep. And finally he sent me this voice message saying, "I'm gonna go, I'm done with it, I'm not stopping anymore, let's go." And that's when I grabbed my stuff from the car, got out and waited for him at the finish. I was so excited for him. He came in blasting. I mean, how the hell did he still have energy for this? Nobody will know. Anyways, it didn't matter anymore. Jasper was a finisher.
But yeah, then when I finally could, I just decided to push hard the last 5k.
We chilled for a little bit after that. He got some food and received his finisher jacket, which he's very proud of, and fairly so, but he wore that jacket every single day after. So obviously Jasper took it very easy the next few days, but I was surprised on how quickly he recovered. The first few days, yeah, he was still walking with difficulties, but after a few days, he was able to walk just as fast as me.
How are the legs?
Not great.
We had an amazing time on this island. People are so friendly. The island is beautiful. And Jasper and I already made a deal that we would be back in 2 years to do the full 126 kilometer. That's the classic race of the Transgrancanaria. And that's gonna be tough, but I'm excited. So there's a lot of more training to do. Just a couple of final words here. The reason I'm making this video is also to show you Jasper's journey, because Jasper's not always behind the camera, but he inspires me so much. And I also love how Jasper doesn't only choose a race because it looks easy or it looks like he could do it under X hours. No, he does it because it looks beautiful. But that also means that beautiful places are usually very tough, like Transgrancanaria was a lot of elevation. This is what gives a purpose in his life, and you might relate to that. I am super happy we get to do those things together. He's definitely on a higher level than me, but I'm catching up slowly. Babe, if you're watching this, I'm so proud of you. Thank you for everything that you bring me, but also that you bring your surrounding every single day. To never lose this craving for adventure, for becoming a better person, for learning and discovering, because this makes you so special and this makes our relationship so special, and I'm just so proud of you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure to click on the thumb up, and I will see you soon.